Good morning. Today, the past couple of days, we've had some insane rains. I think we're back into rainy season. As you can tell, it's still cloudy. So I thought, before it starts to rain again this afternoon, I'm going to try to get some plants planted. I have an onion that started to sprout at the house and some ginger I want to plant. I was reading that ginger likes to be planted with, well, I'm not sure if it likes it, but it can be planted with bananas because it likes the mulch and the moistness of the bananas. And the bananas are, the tree is, or it's a plant, it's mostly water, so the ginger should do well. Then I have another project I was thinking about. I've already put in a small yucca patch here, and I have like spots of yucca growing all over my property. And the other day I researched a lot about things that will grow and, you know, that are basically self-sustainable. Yucca is one of those plants that will, if I just leave it on the ground, the stick with the leaf that had the leaves on it, it will start growing. So I feel like it's like if I don't plant it somewhere and just leave it and it grows somewhere I don't want it, it's like a waste. Because most likely I'm going to forget it's there, I'm going to hit it with the weed whacker, and then it's going to be wasted. So lately I've been thinking a lot about food security, not just for now, like what's going to grow within the next, 3 months. Like potatoes will grow within 3 months, but potatoes don't really do very well here. The XOXO potatoes, which is like the small ones, I had them planted in bags, but I also had them scattered throughout the property. They're not a high yield. I would have to plant a ton of them to get enough to sustain me for longer than a certain amount of time. So I was thinking to plant what grows well here, because coming from the US, and I have had to switch my mindset of what to plant. First of all, when I first moved here, I knew nothing about the plants and how different the climate would be and how different that would affect what plants grew here. So I was thinking about it. Yucca, I really didn't like yucca when I first came. I thought it was really hard. It wasn't, it wasn't something that I was going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to eat yucca. Not when I can have a potato, I'd rather have a potato. But that's just me because I came from where I live. We had lots of potatoes. I might murder my puppy is driving me absolutely insane. I can't do anything without her escaping, so hopefully she doesn't escape again. So yeah, so once I realized how easy yucca grew here, it just will grow without needing any work, which is like the exact type of garden that I want to have, because weeds take over. So if there's something that can grow with the weeds and just, be productive, that is 100% what I'm all about right now. Like the bananas and the coffee and I've been planting a ton of flowers, because eventually this whole side of the hill is going to be a bee farm. The stingless bees. They're native to Colombia, native to like the Amazonian region. We're not in the Amazon, but it's native to this region in South America. Oh, and there's my other dog. Baki venga. Whatever, he can go. He's not gonna. He comes home. I don't worry about him. But she just got fixed. I just took the collar off her. So yeah, so I've been hyper obsessed with planting pollinators, a lot of flowers. So that's why you see all over my farm I have a ton of flowers. Because if you have flowers, you have butterflies, you have bees, and then things will just start growing. So working with what I have versus against it. And then I had to learn how to cook yucca. So now I know how to cook it, and I actually really like it. So I'm all about planting a ton of yucca because it lasts. You can freeze it. You can just leave it in the ground until you're ready. I probably have yucca to harvest now. I probably have yucca to harvest in like a couple of months. In a year, in 2 years, so I'm planning for food. I'm more planning for food sustainability in the long term, not just for the next 2 to 3 months, because there are things that produce really fast. Potatoes, beans, and I have all those growing, but I also want foods that I know are gonna just, I'm gonna have yuca. I'm never gonna starve. I'm gonna have yuca. Okay. But the thing about this is it's funny because this is the longest I've ever lived somewhere as an adult. Since I graduated college and started working as a nurse, I would move apartments. Even if I stayed in a safe city, like when I lived in Boston, I lived in Los Angeles, I moved every 6 months to a year because I just had this really hard time of staying in one place, because I thought, then that means I'm gonna have to stay here. Then I felt like this urgency because I didn't want to stay in LA, I didn't want to stay in Boston, I didn't want to stay in the big cities, and I thought if I just keep moving, I won't get too comfortable. Well, I guess that worked because I didn't get too comfortable, but I also never grounded, or I never created my own thing. I never had the like mental capacity because I was just working. I would just go to the hospital, work, go out with my friends, and it was a complete different life. So now that I'm living somewhere, I've been here on this farm almost 2 years, which is really crazy because I'm 46 and I just kind of settled down, which is kind of crazy, I guess. But that's just like the process that my body, mind, and spirit had to go through. I had to do all the things. I had to work hard. I had to have 4 jobs. I had to learn a bunch of things to realize that I just want to live very simple. But I think it had to go through that process of work, you know, live in the city, travel, and then I ended up getting sick of traveling. If you watch my travel series, I ended up with this like bored of travel because I was so sick of moving. I was moving so often. But in the beginning it was great, and then at the end I was like, okay, done. And it was just like my body just knew when it was time. So how does that relate to planting yuca? I'm planting yuca for the next 2 to 5 years because some of this yuca I can harvest in a year and some I can harvest in 2 years. I have plantains, and even if something happens and I don't stay on this farm in the next 5 years, whoever buys this farm or whatever happens, because you never know what's going to happen, there is food for the next person. So I'm not just thinking about just for me, but for the next person who would live on this land. They're going to have some sort of something quality to eat or to sell, or to, it's just a contribution of moving forward and having food for someone else, or the future of whatever happens. Because, you know, there's a lot of talk about food scarcity in a lot of places, and here where I live, that thought of that is just kind of absurd because everyone is growing something. But at one point, that probably was how people thought the US, like, absurd to think that these farmers aren't going to be producing. I mean, I lived on farms until I was 18, so to think like there are people that are going to be put out of jobs and farmers aren't going to be able to farm is like crazy, especially living here. But unfortunately, that is the reality. So you never know what's going to happen. So that's my thought, and my thoughts are planting for the future, not just for the moment of now, immediately. And you know, it's also the culture of we need everything now. No, everything I'm doing is not for now, it's for like the future, because when you start gardening and you start doing all these things, you realize how it takes time, energy, and a lot of work to produce something. So yeah, so I'm planting another bed. Okay, all that leads back to I'm planting some more yuca because I was mowing down here because I finally learned how to use the weed whacker, and I'm so happy because now I don't have to pay anybody to do it. So yesterday I was down here and I mowed all my grass. It looks so good. I'm so happy. And now I'm going to plant the yuca, and I want to show you a little bit what I did yesterday And we've had the bad rains, like I said, and a few of my trees have fallen down, so I need to clean those up. I'm not sure I'm going to do it all today because I'm a little stressed about this dog situation. I'm going to have to lock her in the house, but she wouldn't go in. Anyways, that's just like how it is here, you know. Yucca does well on the hill. So I have to think about what I can plant that will grow well on the hill. Also, I'm going to plant this onion in one of my raised beds. And then I'm going to plant this ginger just right here because this is really good soil. So yeah, that's what I'm up to today. I don't plant very traditional ways. I just kind of put things where I companion plant, so I just throw seeds, which is why this bed is a bit of chaotic. And a bunch of volunteer stuff. So beans and tomatoes and squash, and there's an eggplant somewhere in there. I'm not sure how well they'll do here though, just trying. Some yucca. This is all yucca, but look, I mowed it and it looks so good. I finally cleaned up all that mess down there. Yucca I planted about a month ago. Bananas that will just go, go, go. Yucca. This is going to be a little bed. I'm just throwing compost in here right now. But in the future, it's going to be, I don't know, something. I'll plant something in there. I'm not sure what. But I also have to work against the hill, so putting in all these little terrace beds will help slow down erosion. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Potatoes and sweet potatoes and squash. This bed it's kind of close to the water, so it's okay if it's a sacrifice plants. The bugs will eat these and then they don't come up higher, so like over here I planted raspberries and they're getting eaten by bugs, but then my beds higher aren't getting attacked as much. So, and I have a ton of raspberries, so I'm completely fine with it. Just kind of have to be okay with the bugs eating stuff. We plant for everybody here. Everything, even these mosquitoes around my head. But yeah, I mowed it. Okay, this is a plantain that fell. I need to clean this up today. This is a loofah growing. So yeah, plantain that fell. I will use that plantain on my yuccas today. But yeah, so I cleaned it up pretty good. That one's probably going to fall next. I should probably put something to hold it up because it's not done. Yeah, I'll find something. But I mowed all the way up there. Yeah, I need to get more gas and then I'm going to finish. Alrighty, so up there is where I'm going to put the yucca. above this right here is yucca. I'm going to put it right over there. We're going to start that after lunch. So, yeah. And then I'm going to plant some Mexican sunflowers along my little wattle fence. I need to put more bamboo, but it actually worked. She didn't jump it this morning. She jumps there. I know you're probably like, well, that's so crazy. Why are you doing that? I'm planning on doing it the whole way around the property. It's going to take a while. But it worked. It stopped her because she can jump right there. This is the yucca. All you have to do is pop, put it in the ground like these ones. don't know if you can see, but look, they already have, it's already starting to grow. So I'm just gonna pop it in some dirt and see what happens. I read to get the best yucca possible is better to make it like a mound. So it's a little bit loose, so the tubes can, or the yucca can grow. Oh, I think I want to do it this way though. And I got that yucca, or see, we'll just put this is probably not gonna grow, but we'll put them both together. I think they're from the same. And then I'm gonna come and mulch them. This I found oh no, sorry. This is a separate one. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna put that one here. I think they're far enough apart because the yucca is gonna more go down and kind of spread here. Then there's so many worms. It's amazing. But so far, every time I plant yucca like this, it works. So if I do them too close together, then at least I'll get one every other, and I'll know for the next time. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this up, mulch it. I put the plantain here to hold my little area. I'm doing these to hold the nutrients on the hill because, you know, fast water flowing down, rain season. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Give you an update in a year. No, in 2 years. And then I'm gonna do one more right here. I know it's like not that much, but I'm gonna go up, probably up to there. Alright, these are the 2 yucca beds. So I planted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 palos de yucca. Pretty sure they're far enough apart. But like I said, if not, then they'll grow every other. That's still quite a bit of yucca. Plus, I have more sticks here. I'll probably slowly find spots for them. So I'll slowly find more spots for them. And what I don't plant, we'll just, we'll see what happens. But I want to go more, but I haven't cleaned up that spot yet. Whew, that's hot. I'm in the shade. Slowly I'm terracing the whole hill, so this is like the very bottom. And yeah, it's good for the yucca to hold in the ground anyways, and to put my little terraces, because this will also hold the soil, the water, the nutrients from, you know, going right down. Plus the weeds actually do help, so I shouldn't take, well, I don't want to take all of them because I want to keep some to hold it in. So I'm leaving like the sides, and then I'm slowly going to put a ground cover like perennial peanut or sweet potatoes, or I don't know, some Mexican sunflower I'm going to put over here. But this is a really sunny spot. Yucca likes sun. And if it's not sunny enough, I'll just cut the branches here. But yeah, it's pretty sunny. This is doing well. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Like slowly terracing. I'm sweating. It's so hot. Slowly terracing the hill. But you know, as you I like doing like terracing one spot fixing it and then doing another spot, because then I have like this whole spot clean, those spots clean, I just have to mow around them. So yeah, we'll see what happens. In 18 to 24 months I will have something here, and yeah, which is crazy, the fact that I will probably still be living here in that long, because you know, before I would never imagined. So yeah, lots of realizations lately. Alright, I'm gonna bring some of this up for the bunnies. Oh, I'm getting eaten alive too, so, but it's so hot. Alright, see you on the next video, bye.